What's up everyone, Roy here, and today I'm gonna show you how I made this Jay Katana cover art real quick, and let's get to it. So first things first, I started out with picking images of the subject, our subject Jay Katana. I looked up at random images I found on his fan page account, and I chose the best ones actually. So yeah, these were part of them. So yeah, they were a lot, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. You catch my drift, bro. So the next thing we did is I selected them actually. So to select your subject, the first thing you do is use the selection tool. So I selected the subject automatically by pressing select subject, and it loads up. It takes some time for my PC, bro. My PC is lame as fuck, bro. Like, yeah, so it will take a minute to select the subject, but I won't select it accurately even after the algorithm, even after the PC does the selection for me. I won't select it accurately also, so I'll just do it real quick to show you what I mean. So yeah, we eliminate this place, remove the background, and then yeah, so the next thing I did is I pressed Command J, Control J. Yeah, and when you press that, it isolates the subject that you selected. Yeah, so you get it. The next thing I did is I pressed select subject again. I pressed it again. So yeah, it's loading up. Yeah, and the next thing I did, I pressed Shift F5, Shift F5, and I selected the content aware field. So what this does, it is Photoshop automatically fills your selection with whatever it can pick from the background. So I pressed OK, and but I if I remember well, I didn't do this really really do this well. I used a clone stamp tool afterwards, so because it didn't come out right. So yeah, let's see how it comes out. Yeah, it comes out as something like this. I'm pressing Control D to deselect. Yeah, it's not looking good, as you can see. So I used the clone stamp tool, this one over here, and then let me put this one down. I use it to record, bro. This is my mic, bro. So yeah. So after that, I was to polish this background up. You hold Alt and select any region close to where you wanna polish. So I can select here, and then so yeah, I'm done. I did not do this actually like the exact thing to the latter, but I did something of the sort. So you get what I mean. And then I imported this onto my canvas. My canvas dimensions are 3000 by 3000 pixels. So I imported it, as you can see over here. Let me switch off these layers. Real quick. Yeah, I imported it, as you can see, and then I enlarged it to fit the canvas size. So yeah, the next thing I did is I brought my selections, this and also this and also this. So yeah, now we have our selections. But as you can see, the images are already well edited. Like, everything is on point, from the exposure to the shadows, literally everything. Plus it has a subtle glow. Each subject has a subtle glow when you look up close. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to say. I upscaled the images actually using upscale. Yeah, so using this app, holy fuck, yeah, using this app I upscaled everything to get better image quality. So yeah, my PC is lagging right now, bro. Like my PC is genuinely it's okay. So and then the next thing I did is since there were no adjustments needed over here except from a subtle glow that I added onto this layer, let me see. I added it behind the subject, so it's a small type of glow. And also the shadow. So I added this. How do you add this? It's easy, bro. Like you can just use the soft brush tool, and opacity you can set it at like 15 or 14. So and then you decrease the brush size a little bit, just like that, and you have already added the glow. So the next thing is the shadow on the feet, the shadows on the feet, on his feet, on our subject's feet. Let me see. Yeah, this one. So how do you do that? Using the same brush, you can just adjust its size and the angle. That's the angle. So how it looks, so that it can look like he's stepping on something. He's actually stepping on something. So yeah, let me switch it off real quick, create another layer. So yeah, I added that shadow, something like that. So you can see this is the after and that's the before, something of the sort. I'm doing it real quick because I just want you to get the workflow, whatever I was doing. So yeah, the next thing is adding text. So I decided to add text, so we can start with this text one. So when I added this text, I used some new tribal vectors actually. So let me just increase its opacity a little bit. Oh my goodness, my PC is lagging. So initially it was filled, the text was filled. As you can see, this is the 100% filled, this is the 0. So I had the text filled initially. So yeah, and the opacity was at 100 initially. So yeah, what I did is I lowered the opacity, and then the next thing is I removed the fill and set it at 0. So yeah, and then the next thing is I added the new tribal vectors. So let's look at them real quick. You can see them, the before and the after. I just wanted to add them. I have never even actually used them in my life, bro. Like I've always felt like they were useless. So I tried to integrate them today. I just woke up feeling different, bro, and I said, let's do it. So yeah, after adding the new tribal vectors, the next thing I did is went to the blending mode options. And also for the vectors, for the new tribal vectors, I placed the fill at 0 and I added stroke to them. So I've double clicked the group 1 layer, and this shows up. So I added stroke to them. That's the before, that's the after. So yeah, as you can see, the fill is 0. I added some stroke. So at 100% fill it looks like this, at 0% fill it looks like that. So yeah, So as I was saying, next thing I did is I went to the blend if option. So how do you do that? You double click your layer again. You double click your layer, and then you go here to underlying layer. So over here, initially it will be at this position. As you can see, it's so clear. But what I did is I lowered it. I lowered it for some reason. I don't know why I did it. I think I just felt like it was necessary for me. It's my style. It's my swag, bro. It's my tech. So yeah, I moved this bar over here. So how do you do that? You just hold Alt and drag this across. So yeah, as you can see, it already works. So yeah, that's what I did. And the next thing I did was duplicate the layer. So I duplicated the layer, yeah, and it came out like that. I wasn't content with how it was looking. It was looking dim, but I would have known better. I should have known better. I should have just adjusted the blend if real quick. So yeah, the next thing I did is added another text. Oh, you're not supposed to see that yet. You're not supposed to see that yet. So I added another text, and I added another new tribal vector on it, but I used a different font. So yeah, the dominant fonts I used on this work were Arial and Betrayed. That's my sauce, bro. I'm giving out free sauce to you, bro. Free sauce. So yeah, the next thing I did is I added text 3. Yeah, so let me switch off this because you're not supposed to see them yet. So I added text 3. Then the next thing we did is add gradient maps, bro. I felt like it was plain. We need some color to this. We need some color, it needs some life. It needs some life, bro. So yeah, we added gradient maps. So I'll just switch this on real quick. So yeah, as you can see the color scheme. Let me show you the color scheme for the gradient map real quick. So I double click the layer, and then I go to gradient overlay. So yeah, this is the color scheme I used. So yeah, blending mode 100. You can just copy my settings. Really, I didn't do even actually anything. So yeah, so same to the other texts. I used the same gradient maps, the same gradient maps. So yeah, nothing really different. Let's see. So as I'm looking at the layers, and I realized I did not add a gradient map to this text one. I did not add a gradient map. So, but I think I added it with the overall gradient map. I added a gradient map to it overally. So yeah, so after you have everything straight, your text has the colors and stuff, your subjects are in place. Yeah, so I decided next thing I should do is add an overall gradient map to everything. And yes, don't flame me, bro. I know I could have done this naturally with this gradient map. It would have done the same thing on everything, on even the text, but yeah, sometimes I just be tripping, bro. So yeah, sometimes it's bad, bro. I was doing this shit real late in the night. So yeah, so next thing I did is add the gradient map. You can see this is the color scheme. Yeah, this is the color scheme I used. Yeah, You can copy the colors if you want. Black. Let me show you the codes. You can copy the codes if you want. Pink. That's the code. Light blue, very light blue. That's the code. Lime green. That's the code. And then pink again. This is actually purple and it is pink. So pink. That's the code. And there I'm done. So let me enable this. So I added the gradient map, but I masked it. So that's it without the mask. It looks too deep fried, you know. It looks deep fried as fuck, bro. Like, it doesn't even look good. Too many, the colors scream too much. So I masked everything. I masked the gradient map. So Command Z to revert to where we were. So I masked it. The opacity is at 8, and then after masking it, I applied blend if also to it. So you double click the layer for the blend if option. For the blend if option, always remember to double click the layer. You will always find it, so don't get lost. So this is what I used: 143, 160. You know the drill. To adjust the slider, you hold Alt and you move it across. So yeah, that's what I did. So everything is done, but we're not really done with this work. So yeah, I duplicated my layers. I grouped the layers first of all. So in order to group the layers, you can just click this first layer, hold shift and go to the last layer, and then you press Command G. It will group everything. As you can see, it will group everything. So I did that, and then I duplicated my layer, my everything layer, by pressing Command J. Pressing Command J, you duplicate. So yeah, I duplicated everything, and then after duplicating everything, I converted the layer into a smart object real quick. So as you can see, this is how it looks. This is how it's supposed to look. So yeah, next thing I did is I added some more new tribal frames. So that's the first frame I added. But before adding this frame, I did something else. I added a paper cutout effect. I applied the paper cutout effect. So yeah, how do you do this? How does one do this? So let's duplicate this layer, Command J, and then after duplicating the layer, I'll just convert it into a smart object. So converting this into a smart object, I do it. Bro, this stuff is good now, bro. So after I duplicated it, bro, why? What's going on, bro? Like, I haven't selected text or 3D. I haven't clicked anything like that, bro. Like, my PC is bugging, bro. My laptop is bugging. It's bugging out, bro. Man, I want to start a GoFundMe, bro. I need a new laptop, and I need you guys to save up for me, bro. Like, this shit is frying me, bro. No, I don't want this, bro. Man, okay, bro, I get it, bro. So and I'm not cutting this. This is going into the video, bro. This is going into the video. I'm not cutting anything. So bro, what is this, bro? What is this shit, bro? I did not ask for this, bro. So yeah, after converting everything into a smart object, let me just rasterize it real quick. No. So after converting everything into a smart object, next thing I decided to do was add the paper cutout effect. So I go to actions, and then I scroll down to college cutout by Doron. Shout out Doron, bro, the goat, bro. He's the goat. So you have options. You can use the clean cutout. You won't see the effect that much. You can use the tone edges or the heavy tone edges. So I use the heavy tone edges, and first thing you need to do is I use the polygonal lasso tool, and I made a selection around my subject. So like this. It doesn't even have to be accurate, you know. It doesn't even have to be accurate. So I made this selection like this. Next thing is you just run the action, bro. Just like that, bro. Easily. You just run the action. So I run the action. Before running this action, make sure that you have already a selection set of the shape you want to cut out, and that the layer you have currently selected is the image you'd like to cut out. Yes, continue. So we wait as the action runs and does its course. So yeah. Yeah, and it's done. Clean. It's looking clean. It's looking so clean. So it's looking so clean. It actually looks like paper was cut out and just sticked on the canvas and was stuck onto the canvas. So yeah, there are additional layers you can switch on and off for the paper texture. This one and this. So I added them. I switched them on. So the next thing you do, I did the same thing for the other layers, for the other selections I made. I just did the same. I made the selections, blah blah blah. I made the selections. After making the selections, and I ran the action, and you were done. You could just see the effect. Nothing else. Nothing, bro. No complicated ass shit, bro. Like, no nothing. This is the method, bro. I used to have a very old method, but that method was ass, bro. Like, that method was flawed, bro. So my old method was after I make the selection, I press Command J. After pressing Command J, as you can see, I've made the selection. I'd double click the layer. This is my old method, bro, and it wasn't working, bro. Like, it wasn't that good, bro. After double clicking it, I pressed the stroke. Yeah, these are the settings I was using, and then I pressed the drop shadow. So I'd use this. So yeah, after clicking the drop shadow, next thing you know is I added a displacement map onto it. So filter, distort, displace. I didn't even care what the settings were, bro. Like, I just added them, and then I go to my assets. Let me see if I can find the texture. So I will do this and select any displacement map over here and wait for it to run its course. As you can see, bro, this shit is ass, bro. Like, it's not even good, bro. Yeah, it's not even good. It's not. The edges are straight. Okay, they look like they are cut from paper, but whatever it does to the overall image, it just distorts it, because that's the name, bro. Displacement map. Distort, displace. So this was my old source, bro. But that source had to slow down, bro. Like, it had to slow down, bro. So this is the new method. This is the new method, bro. Like, this Doron method, bro. This is the new method, bro. So yeah, that's my new method, bro. My new source. My new tech. I know it's old. I know mixed media is old. People have already done this, but this is my tech, bro. I'm figuring it just right now. So yeah. So the next thing I did is I made the selections for the other subjects, and I just ran the actions. But I was playing with the different actions: dirty, rough, thrashed. So let me just switch on the layers, and you can see whatever I was doing. So yeah, I did that, and that. And then I decided also for the tribal text, for the texts, for the different text, the 3 text layers, I ran the action too. So yeah, I did that, and that. Yeah, I did that, bro. So for these other layers, the cutout normal, these are just the same layers, but they don't have the gradient map. They are not colored. They don't have any color grading, any form of color grading. So that's the normal one. That's the normal one. That's how it was looking. So, but I prefer mine with the gradient maps. So the next thing I did is, of course, parental advisory. You can't miss with that shit, bro. And then I added the frames, the tribal frames, the new tribal frames. So I added them. They weren't even looking like this originally. They weren't even looking like this. Let me see if I can. So I added them initially, and I selected them, and then I ran the effect. I ran the cutout effect. So after importing the vectors, they were in vector form, of course, initially. I selected them. I made the selection using the magic wand tool. The object selection tool. I selected them, and then I ran the action. Same actions I ran on the subjects. So that's frame 1 I added, and then let me look for the other frame. And this is the second frame I used. So that's complete. So the next thing I did is, of course, noise. So for noise, you can just add a solid color, set it to gray, but 50% gray, exact, to be precise, 50% gray. I don't know if the color code for 50% gray is F7. No, it's not that. I forgot. So you just add the 50% gray. Next thing you know, you add noise to the 50% gray layer. After adding the noise, you set the blending mode to soft, light, or overlay. Whatever you prefer, bro. Whatever you rock with. Whatever you'll be content with. So yeah. The next thing is textures. I added some textures. Yeah. And I think this is how it's supposed to look like, yeah. Nothing else. Blending mode set to overlay. This was scanner paper textures. So that's the main reason for using these textures. It's because they are scanner textures. So I'll just automatically achieve that paper, cutout paper texture, cutout paper look. So the actual cutouts that I made, they would be justified. They would make sense by me using the textures, because if you just leave it like that, it doesn't feel natural. It doesn't even look natural. It looks like Yeah, this is some Photoshop shit, bro, but if you add the textures, somebody can look at this and be like, yeah, he did that, bro. He cut off the papers and sticked them onto the canvas. So yeah, bro, that's my video. Now that's my tutorial. I'm done. Leave a like and subscribe, and pray for me, man. I get a new PC, bro. Pray for me, man. I get a new PC. Time is hard, bro. Times are hard. So yeah, I'll see you on the... I haven't been consistent. I know I haven't been consistent with my uploads, bro. Yeah, I'm trying to get a new PC. I'm trying to get some bread and save up for a new PC. But I'll be more consistent. Next week, expect another video from me, another tutorial. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on Instagram, royderel.png, or TikTok, same username, royderel.png. Yeah, and I'll catch you guys next time, bro. Peace.